So they got these, V8 diesels they've had for years, and they got the inline Cummins 6. But the thing about the inline Cummins 6 and the V8s is to adjust the valves or whatever on the inline 6. It's way up under the dash like that. And on the V8 diesels, you got to replace a turbo or something. It's like it's way up in there in the midst of all that stuff. You can't hardly get to it. To do almost anything on those V8 Fords and the Chevys ain't quite as bad, but Duramax, Power Stroke, the stuff is so hard to get to. Plus, you got a lot more cylinders, a lot more going on. What I always thought would be so neat is to have a V8 as a V6 diesel, with the common rail piezo electric injectors with the multi-pulse injection, because those Power Strokes, they make a lot of power, but if you had a V6, it'd be more like the inlines. I've always loved the sound of a 6-cylinder diesel. It's got a real powerful sound about it. But the V8 diesels, they got a good sound too, but you got so much going on in the engine. They're good motors, don't get me wrong, and I like them. I love a Duramax and a Power Stroke. I like them both, but I thought a V6 would be the best of both worlds, especially where they're trying to get the wheelbase shorter on these new ones and smash the motor up under the hood. They've been doing that since back in Dodge. Ford really kind of pioneered that deal. But let me know what you think, because I've always loved a 6-cylinder diesel with the turbo. I just love the way they sound. I think a V8 gasser sounds great, but as far as the diesel, I think a 6-cylinder diesel just got a great sound. Reminds me of those old like a big rig. It's just got that big rig sound about it. But I think it would be more efficient, especially at your lower torque. Now this new Power Stroke, especially with the high output version, it's pushing out a crazy amount of torque, like I think 1,200 foot-pounds or something like that. So that is pretty amazing, and it's at a lower RPM too, which is interesting. Power Strokes are under square. They have a longer bore than they have stroke, but the Duramax actually has and they always have, the 6.6 has always had a bigger bore than stroke, So it's more like a gasser, which is interesting. But they might have done that to make it smoother or rev. I would like to know just exactly why they did that. But I think it'd be cool to have a V6 diesel, with a turbo and that multi-pulse piezo electric injectors, multi-pulse injection. All the new stuff they got on them now. I think the CP4 pumps are good, but they're just not as reliable. But anyway, let me know y'all's thoughts. I'd like to know what y'all think about it, especially y'all who are, diesel mechanics. Going through diesel schools really what got me thinking about a lot of this stuff, and I've always loved the sound of a diesel.